Chris, how you doing? This is your coach. We're going to check out these overhead presses real quick. This is a really good start position. Cool. Okay. So we're going to look at two things here. Numero uno, what are those shoes? Oh my God. Anyway, I'm not gonna focus on that right now. Although that might be a problem. So let's look at that bounce real quick. That is a pretty darn good bounce, right? Pretty darn good. We got the hips going forward, the bar dropping right there. Elbows are still in front of the bar, and we're driving up. Bar appears to be over midfoot. And here, this transition right here is what I want to focus on, right? So, I think we're shoving our head under the bar a little bit, just a tad too early in this movement. Here's what I mean by this. If you were to have stayed back a little longer and let your chest muscle through this a little more to where it's nearly locked out, we wouldn't see this weight shift that you're seeing on the feet, right? You're seeing a little bit of weight shift. It's being curtailed by the abs right here, but you see that. It's part of the system now, and as you muscle through these reps, it's just continuing to go on. So you're going to be able to maintain over midfoot a lot better if, as the weight gets heavier, you maintain your layback a little longer, okay? This is something that, you always hear this drive your head through the window cue, and it is important. It's especially important at super light weights compared to your body weight. But as the bar gets more and more a proportion of the barbell lifter system, you're going to have to stay laid back a little longer as that happens in order to keep the weight from shifting forward, okay? So, the only other thing about this is, boop, boop. The lockout position is both probably a little too back, but I really can't see because it's not held very long, right? You're kind of just going straight from lockout down. I want to see you be proud of that lockout position. I want to see you big shrug up at the top, and yeah, just like that, right? Big shrug up at the top, and the only thing about our being too far back, make sure that the upper arm, is right by the ear. So that's three things. I know I'm giving you a lot, but they're not big things, right? The primary numero uno thing I want to see you do is stay laid back till about, let's see if I can capture it, see how good I am. I think you could stay laid back until about here, okay? Think about keeping your forehead behind the bar. Think about keeping your elbows forward of the bar, and stay laid back until about here. And then you shove your head through the window. You'll be able to maintain your balance more. Then make sure that when we lock out, we hold that lockout and stabilize, and make sure that that lockout position that we stabilize at places the upper arm right next to the ear rather than behind it. Let's see if this is indeed the right angle. Okay. So right here, I already know that this bench setup is imperfect, I'll say. The shoulder blades are definitely retracted, but I do not believe they're depressed. The reason being that when you do this, you're depressing them, right? Which means they weren't depressed when they started out. So as perfect as the leg drive is, as good as your sort of thoracic arch is, I want to see you take a little more time and set up your shoulder blades before you unrack the bar here. And the way this is going to be done is you're going to have to bring this bar, if it can go, I know these are like 3 inches big. If you can bring it one lower and still get it unracked, then do. If not, we'll just have to make do with what we got. But when you are here, before you do that, before you do this sort of pin yourself against the bench to get the weight off, which I love, by the way, before you do that, you need to make sure that the shoulder blades are tucked not only in, but also down, right? You can do this by setting up way far away from your position like you do, right? You kind of scoop yourself onto the bench. If you landed right here rather than right there, and then pushed yourself with your feet up the bench, keeping your shoulder blades in, the bench will drag them down if it's got any kind of friction whatsoever, and I hope it does. So the bench will drag them down as you push your body up. You'll be locked in this position where your rib cage is way high and your shoulder blades are way low. So instead, we're sort of shoving the scapulae down, and while that's not terrible, you see that you're less able to do it every single rep. That was even less. That's even less profound a change, and look right there, we're even less able every single rep to, and that was almost no movement at all, right? And the elbows are kind of going wayward and all that kind of stuff. So try and set up your scapular position retracted, so toward each other, but also depressed in your setup so that we don't have to worry about that. If you need an explanation on that, like a video explanation, let me know, and I can definitely provide that. As far as this goes, I'm seeing more of the same. Forearms look good, man. Everything looks pretty darn good. Just would like to see that scapular situation get figured out, and you'll be benching heavy, heavy, heavy. Yeah, I like this range of motion a lot more, man. Way more. You're not holding that in between your legs. You got a belt, right? I'm just not seeing it. Because if you're doing that, that's some crazy work, dude. Crazy work. Let me know. 65 to 70 range. I'll change that for next time. Cool, man. This is just extra tricep work. Yeah, no need to video. Well, sir, I hope all that helps out. Please let me know if you have any questions, and you will hear from me soon.